Hey guys, today I want to show you a really cool mid-side technique that you can use on vocals. We're gonna start with something really simple and we're gonna
get crazy with it.
I'll be using stock plugins, so this is something that everybody can achieve. You don't need any paid plugins. Let's jump into the session. So I have a cool session that sounds like this. Vocals are processed, but I have bypassed the reverbs, delays, and other spatial processing.
Freedom from a demon, I'm walking in my Adidas, how do I beat them? By stepping away from anything I'm repeating, leaving me grieving, seeing no reason that I'm breathing, drawn.
When it comes to mid-side processing vocals, if you're trying to add width, chorus, doublers, other stereo plugins like that, the major issue that I have with that processing is that the mid signal is competing with the lead vocal. So we have a clash between the stereo spreader on the mid and the lead vocal. Even though you are adding stereo processing and you're trying to add stereo spread to the vocals, those effects still have a mid signal. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna add this chorus effect from Studio One. Let's switch it to doubler, hear it in solo. This is just that doubler.
Freedom from a demon, I'm walking in my Adidas, how do
Stereo information on the sides, but we still have signal in the mid. That mid channel will clash with the lead vocal, creating a strange sounding effect, and the lead vocal will most likely lose some of the power. This is with the lead vocal.
Freedom from a demon, I'm walking in my Adidas, how do I beat them? By stepping away from anything I'm repeating, leaving me grieving, seeing no reason.
When I'm trying to add width to the vocals, I found out that if we manipulate the mid channel, we can achieve much better results. This is how I do it in Studio One. I can add a mix tool, add another one. So we have two mix tools. First one, MS transform. We are transforming the signal from left, right to mid side. Second one, we engage the MS transform again. We are encoding and decoding a left-right signal to MS and back to left-right. Between the two mix tools, let's add a splitter. This is an overlooked tool from Studio One. I use it quite often in situations like this. So now to explain the setup, we are feeding the splitter an MS signal. After we process it with the splitter, the second mix tool, we encode it back to left right. And now this entire setup allows us to manipulate the levels of the mid and the sides of this particular chorus. One thing that I usually do when I deal with stereo spreaders is to mute the mid signal completely. Mute the signal on channel 1, and this is what we have. Now we don't have that mid signal. The stereo effect doesn't clash at all with the vocal that's in the center. This is the technique, but we can go really crazy with it. Another thing that you can do instead of muting the mid signal is to manipulate the level of it. For example, let's say that we have a reverb. Let's add room reverb. We like the sound of the reverb, but the reverb creates muddiness. It fights or occupies too much space on the mid channel where the vocals live. What we can do is just reduce the mid channel on the reverb.
I'm walking in my Adidas, how do I beat them? By stepping away from anything I'm repeating, leaving me grieving, seeing no reason that I'm breathing.
This allows us to keep the flavor of the reverb. We keep the stereo spread that it adds, but we take the mid channel out of the way of the vocals. We can even take it one step further and process this with some EQ on channel 1, which is the mid section.
Freedom from a demon, I'm walking in my Adidas, how do I beat them? By stepping away from anything I'm repeating, leaving me grieving, seeing no reason.
Or we can mess with the side section by adding some top end, some sparkle on the reverb,
Reason that I'm breathing.
just like that. Or we can even take it a step further, and this is going to start to be a bit more complex than your typical mid-side processing on vocals. This works with reverbs, delays, and things that you can duck. For example, with this reverb, we can add a compressor. Let's go to our stock compressor inside Studio One. We are adding it on channel 1, bypass the EQ. Here we can select the vocals as our sidechain. Let's make some adjustments to the compressor.
Freedom from a demon, I'm walking in my Adidas, how do I beat them? By stepping away from anything I'm repeating, leaving me grieving, seeing no reason that I'm breathing, drawn to the falling pleading. I've lost all I believe in the cost, I'm all depleted, I begin.
What's happening here is that the mid channel of the reverb, where the vocals live, is ducking every single time the vocal is playing. That creates movement, but that also creates room for the lead vocal. By doing this, by ducking just the mid channel, you allow that beautiful reverb to exist on the sides where you have a bit more room, and the sides are not that important for the lead vocal. This is some really advanced and complex type of processing that you can do, but I believe that if you start doing things like this by removing some of the mid section of an effect, you will have cleaner mixes and you will have less clutter in the areas that are really important. You can try this technique out with any type of stereo effects, phasers, flanges, reverbs, delays, chorus, anything you have in mind. Let me know what you think about this sort of processing. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. Thanks for the support. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, subscribe, like. See you guys really, really soon. Cheers.